In India, religious festivals can take on an epic scale. Whether it's the crowds, the festivities, or the fervor, the motto is, go big or go home.
And when we work together and we harmonize our hearts in that way, then God performs miracles even through us.
When it comes to food, there's a mega kitchen that lives up to this motto.
We'll have devotees who will be traveling in 100 buses every day and going out and coming back. And when they come back, they're really hungry. So we have to make sure that everything is ready on time.
Traveling the length and breadth of the country, sprouting up virtually overnight.
You have to load 3 trucks, unload 3 trucks, set up the kitchen overnight, and as soon as the kitchen is set up, the cooking team will start cooking tomorrow morning at 4 a.m.
In time to feed thousands of devotees seeking spiritual adventures. It's a kitchen that's created as efficiently as it's dismantled. Welcome to ISKCON's Yatra Kitchen, a mega kitchen on the move. In northern India's Uttar Pradesh, there is a town called Vrindavan, along the banks of the river Yamuna. It's a town as vital in modern-day India as it is in the mythology of the Hindu religion. According to folklore, it is here that the iconic blue god Krishna spent his childhood days. Amongst cowherds and dairy farms, and as many playmates in the forests. And it is here that millions of Krishna devotees flock even today to worship him and experience what some call Krishna consciousness. For the members of ISKCON, or the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Vrindavan is a significant location, especially in the months of October and November, when the Hindu calendar rolls around to an especially holy time called Kartik Mass. During Kartik Mass, Vrindavan will become the site for a unique road trip organized by ISKCON and called Yatra. In Sanskrit, Yatra means journey, both spiritual and literal, as devotees will travel hundreds and even thousands of kilometers to arrive here from all over the globe. For 11 days, they will circumambulate the holiest temples and sacred grounds, spending the first 6 days in Vrindavan, and then moving on to the neighboring Govardhan for the last 5. Even as their spiritual needs are met, the organizers must prepare to meet their more basic ones. But for that, one must travel approximately 1,500 kilometers southwest to Maharashtra's Wada district. Govardhan Eco Village is one of ISKCON's most idyllic settlements, where a small farming community lives close to nature and practices sustainable living. Just about 100 kilometers from big city Mumbai, this is the scene for intense discussion.
200 devotees, including almost 30 to 40.
This is the core planning and operations team that will take care of all things related to Yatra.
I just recently visited Vrindavan, and this year there are 5,000 plus devotees.
What are you planning regarding purchase? How are you going to plan your purchase in terms of different ingredients from different sources?
At the helm of Yatra's organizing team is Sri Gauranga Das, ISKCON monk and an alumni of the Indian Institute of Technology. His team must ensure that each Yatra participant has a smooth and comfortable journey. A big part of that involves building a mega kitchen in Vrindavan that will prepare 2 meals a day for upwards of 5,000 people. That's almost like feeding an infantry brigade of the Indian Army.
This is a place where practically all of us come together to do the planning, because in such a very spiritual and harmonious ambience. We are able to conceive of the entire yatra very beautifully.
The upcoming Vrindavan Yatra, please set
Amidst these practitioners of Krishna consciousness, there are qualified engineers, some from India's top universities, and so they undertake planning with a suitably systematic rigor.
We begin at least 3 months back when we come to inspect what are the possible sites, possible places where we can set up the kitchen. Technically southeast, so we have placed the...
Every aspect of the mega kitchen is mapped out, and each element, from ease of movement to safety, is fleshed out in detail.
As well as not even the heat, because there is insulation in this chula.
But this isn't an ordinary kitchen. It's a mega kitchen on the move, with massive cross-country shipments being dispatched from Wada, because the Yatra kitchen will need nearly 20 tons of equipment, including vessels that weigh over 100 kilos, that will cook 2 meals a day for over 5,000 people, over 11 days, amounting to approximately 110,000 meals. Meanwhile, in Vrindavan, paper blueprints are transforming into an actual kitchen floor. The main cooking area spans approximately 5,000 square feet. The adjoining 1,500 square feet is where all the breads and pancake items like rotis and dosas will be made. The storehouse will take up another 1,500 square feet. Finally, 5,000 square feet will be devoted to vegetable chopping by volunteers. The stars of the main kitchen are the rows of cooking stations sectioned according to different stages in the cook, like boiling, stir-frying, and deep frying.
We have set up the entire pandal with the local pandal wala. Now we have to make sure that the fire cooking part is set up well in advance.
It's a deceptively simple-looking setup because engineered into the blueprint are some rather uncommon kitchen technologies, like the improvised chula or stove.
We are doing a bulk cooking, and wood is going to be the fuel over here. So it could consume very less wood, and there is very little smoke. Almost the whole smoke will go out of the kitchen through the chimneys.
This technology makes this kitchen a virtual no-smoking zone. The wood fire hearth is constructed underground, and once cooking begins, the generated smoke channels out through a rocket elbow pipeline. It exits the chimney, leaving the main kitchen free of excess smoke.
So in this particular chula, we only use the mud and the brick. Brick is also mud, so basically we use just the mud, which is 100% eco-friendly.
As the kitchen gets set up, other examples of smart technology begin popping up, like the one Vinodari Das and his team are working on.
खास करके बड़ा-बड़ा बर्तन या हॉट गरम जो बर्तन है वो सर्विंग टेबल पे लेके जाना बहुत मुश्किल होता है तो मैंने सोचा कि ये कैसा लेके जाएंगे
The solution? A 600-foot-long track and trolley system that functions like a cargo train. It sets off from the improvised chula section, making its way out of the kitchen, stretching across the courtyard, arriving at its destination, the dining area. Vinodari Das personally checks that every inch of the track is a smooth ride to prevent spillage or wastage. The team is also responsible for another kitchen technology that seems to have been brought in straight from a construction site.
2008 में जब हम कुकिंग कर रहे थे तो अंडरग्राउंड चूल्हा था तो उसमें से पतीला अगर ट्रैक पे लेना है तो चेन डालते थे चेन से बहुत मुश्किल से खींचते थे तो मैंने उतना ही माइंड में रख के फिर वो बर्तन कैसा ट्रैक पे इजी आ जाए, इसलिए मैंने ट्रेन सिस्टम बना दिया।
All hands are on deck, from head chefs to helpers, to set up the crane system. The crane and pulley system makes a potentially hazardous heavyweight task lighter and safer.
इजी है, एक बार आप अगर देखेंगे 10-12 साल का लड़का भी अगर उसको थोड़ा आइडियल्स आ जाएगा तो वो भी कर सकते हैं।
But just as it looks like the job is done, there's a glitch. The crane's overhead passage is obstructed by a pillar. It's just a few inches off, but it's enough to create a big roadblock.
क्या हो गया, पंडल को वाले को साइज दिया था हमने, लेकिन थोड़ा अंदर के साइड हो गया।
As the crane team racks their brains for a solution, there's less than a day to go for Yatra to officially begin in Vrindavan. It's a good thing then that these monks also happen to be engineers.
तो ऐसा एक और जो बल्ली है वो हम लोग यहाँ लगाएंगे और वो जब ऊपर फिट हो जाएगा इसको हटा देंगे तो फिर वो स्पेस अपने को मिलेगी।
A simple solution is executed efficiently, clearing the passage by uprooting and readjusting a support pillar. Systems are installed and double-checked. Finally, there's smooth operation.
सुबह जो पंडल के डायमेंशन के कारण थोड़ा मिस्टेक हो गया था पंडल वाले का, तो उसका डायमेंशन के बराबर कर दिया। तो अभी मेरा क्रेन पूरा सेट हो गया है, पूरा हमें ट्रायल ले लिए, तो कल का प्रोग्राम के लिए हम अभी रेडी है।
And just in time, too. In every section of the Yatra kitchen, preparations are racing towards completion.
We are just now checking that the whole place has to be finally cleansed. We'll check all our equipments, they are working, and we are doing the service allocation. Today evening we are going to have a meeting and inform our team that to enthuse them up to serve. The next 10 days we are anticipating a lot of action, which we call as a seva.
In this holy town of Vrindavan, Krishna devotees are streaming in the thousands, teeming to get started on their yatra. And as they arrive, so does the truck from Govardhan Eco Village. They must unload quickly and take stock of every item. Piece by piece, the kitchen equipment gets set up. And then there's the ingredients. It's up to devotees like Bhakta Charan Das to go shopping for produce in the neighboring town of Mathura.
यहाँ पे जो लोकल सब्जी ग्रोन होती है वो यहाँ से परचेस करते हैं हम, लाइक कैप्सिकम एंड कैबेज एंड कॉलीफ्लावर। रोज का कम से कम 3 से 3.5 टन सब्जी लगता है, क्योंकि 5,500-6 हजार डिवोटीज हैं हमारे पास।
This morning, the procurement team is in nearby Mathura on the quest for the perfect cauliflower. The Yatra kitchen needs at least 1,000 kilos.
गोभी में यहाँ पे 2 वेरायटी मिलती है, एक तो हाइब्रिड, वो एकदम पूरा व्हाइट कलर में दिखता है, तो लोगों को कलरिंग ज्यादा चाहिए, बट मुझे क्वालिटी चाहिए। तो ऑफ व्हाइट में आता है, दिस इज देसी ब्रांड, फर्टिलाइजर यूज नहीं करते हैं, ऑर्गेनिकली ग्रो करते हैं, तो कलर उतना क्लियर दिखता नहीं है, बट टेस्ट में बहुत अच्छा होता है। ये अपना जितना भी है पूरा इसी ब्रांड का होना चाहिए। इसमें का अपने को 1000 किलो करना है,
इसी का करा देता हूँ।
ठीक है
लाला, एक इनकी 1000 किलो गोभी तोल के रखी है।
अच्छा, क्या टमाटर का बताइए मेरे को भाई।
सुपर माल 50 रुपए किलो।
It also needs 1,500 kilos of tomatoes, 1,500 kilos of potatoes, and 1,000 kilos of carrots, and about 3,500 kilos of other assorted vegetables. But there's still one type of produce to be procured that's tied closely to the story of Krishna. A flute-playing god who in his mythological boyhood tended to cows, cavorted with milkmaids, and even stole freshly churned butter. This is the inspiration for a Yatra menu that contains ample amounts of cream, cottage cheese, and clarified butter or ghee.
One of the very important criteria is we try to use milk and ghee and all cow products from ahimsa sources. Ahimsa source means that those cows which are protected for life.
Ahimsa is the Hindu practice of non-violence, and at ISKCON's dairy farms, it means caring for cows, even beyond their productive years. Happy cows, it is believed, release fewer toxins, making their milk and milk products healthier for all. Back in Vrindavan, in just under 24 hours, the Yatra kitchen will begin a whirlwind service, spanning more than 10 days, feeding thousands of hungry devotees, embarking on spiritual adventures. "3:30 a.m. in Vrindavan. It's still night for most, but the Yatra kitchen is already up and running.
All of the devotees here, they begin by getting up early in the morning by around 2:30. We chant our prayers in the morning. We take blessings of Lord Krishna. So the consciousness is we are serving Krishna, we are serving devotees.
In less than 3 hours, they will serve the first meal in an 11-day service for over 5,000 pilgrims of the Yatra event in Vrindavan.
We are making today upma around 325 kilos and rasam will be making up to 700 liters.
Upma is a traditional South Indian dish. It's a mash of cooked semolina, vegetables, and spices. Rasam, also a traditional South Indian recipe, is a spicy soup made from lentils, tamarind, and tomatoes.
We start with boiling all the tomato and the water, and currently we have divided into 6 batches of 50 kilo each. We are having 30 kilos of vegetables in each.
Wherever there are finely chopped vegetables, there's someone doing all the chopping. It's all happening in the vegetable cutting section. Where 100+ volunteers have joined the monks to cut vegetables. Overseeing it all is Shatbuch Das, who seems less like a project leader and more of a family man.
Just like at home, our mother cuts sabji, but it's for a small family for 4-5 people. Here, it's a big family, around 5,500 people. So we just kind of coordinate everything.
There is like potato, 430 kilos potato.
Under his supervision, over 150 volunteers are instructed on how to chop and peel, cut and slice, according to standardized specifications.
If you just pan the camera and you'll see almost a smile on almost everybody who's sitting here. So that is, I feel, is very special because they are not getting paid and they're coming so early in the morning and they're cutting so much sabji. They wouldn't ever do it at their home, but still they are happy. There are people with, say, a net worth of ₹1 billion sitting next to a person who's, just barely above the poverty line. But there's no distinction saying that, hey, this bindi is cut by a rich man, this bindi is being cut by a poor man, I won't have your bindi. You know, there are people from different castes, Brahmin family, you know, not so high caste family, but they're all sitting together, you know, cutting bindi, and finally it's an offering to the Lord and the devotees.
Back in the kitchen, vessels are on the bubble. It's like a culinary rocket launch, with each batch timed to precision.
Each batch has to cook for 20 minutes on low flame. So this was at 5.5 where we started simming it. So now it's 5.25. So now we have switched it off. And we'll wait for another 5-7 minutes. Then we'll stir with the lemon juice. Similarly, this was 5.8, 3 minutes later. So I'll switch it off after 3 minutes.
20 minutes by the clock, and it's time for liftoff. Or in this case, to check how easily food slips off.
So we are looking for a symptom of cooked. Upma is when it falls off smoothly off the spoon without sticking to the spoon.
The first batch is done, and the first plate is reserved for a very special recipient. Once Lord Krishna's altar is presented with food, service can begin in earnest.
Hare Krishna, hot breakfast is ready. You would like to
6 a.m. in the dining area.
proceed towards the main stage where Shri Bhagavan is seated.
Trolleys of steaming hot food come rolling in.
Once the breakfast prasad comes here, what we do is we transfer them into tubs, small ones, put it on the counters.
Thousands of devotees are served across 8 service counters, which keeps the crowds flowing smoothly and swiftly. Servers dollop out prasadam, or the sacred meal, in buffet style. The day begins with a sumptuous upma. The spicy tomato rasam, on the other hand, is a lively wake-me-up.
Today we have upma, very nice upma, very tasty, and tomato soup.
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, the best prasadam you could have in the world. You can see there are a lot of people, but the way they have organized it, like, you know, it's fabulous. I mean, when you stand in the queue, it sometimes feels that it's going to take half an hour, 40-45 minutes. But within 10 minutes, you are inside.
The prasadam is very good. I'm very grateful. It has a lot of spiritual energy in it.
As breakfast bolsters the faithful souls, they embark on their yatra. Back in the kitchen, the crew's been up since pre-dawn, but there's no rest. There's over 5,000 lunches still to be prepared.
We'll have devotees who will be traveling in 100 buses every day and going out and coming back. And when they come back, they are really hungry. So we have to make sure that everything is ready on time.
Vrindavan is caught up in the festivities of Kartik Mas, a holy time in the Hindu calendar. Krishna devotees are celebrating their patron god by participating in a spiritual road trip called Yatra. Midday, while the devotees are out, in the Yatra kitchen, lunch prep is in full swing. On the menu, matar dal, or pea and lentil stew, and vegetarian kofta, where deep-fried balls of minced vegetables are served in a thick cashew paste curry. It's a dish with several components that need to be prepped separately, from the base curry to the koftas. These are rich dishes, complex in flavor and execution, but that doesn't deter this temporary kitchen. In fact, Over the next 11 days, Yatra pilgrims will be treated to a menu that's both local and global. And while it may be considered prasad, or sacred meals, the menu is a fusion that was created months ago in the food labs of the Govardhan Eco Village.
In ISKCON, prasad is not just food, it is part of the process of devotional service.
It's all believed to be part of a food philosophy defined by sattvic modes of pure and calm living. It is believed to form a direct link between how we think, feel, and act, and what we eat. Ingredients like meat, onions, and garlic are ruled out, as they are believed to be linked to passion and ignorance. Within the sattvic playing field, however, the more creative, the better.
We have made Italian sorted vegetables with Chinese sauces. We had 6 vegetables sorted together, so it's kind of a fusion.
Whatever is conjured up in the food lab has to be scaled up. After all, it's one thing to feed a small crew, quite another to feed thousands.
Just like 4 to 5 takes. So like we have 4 to 5 trials before finalizing one recipe. And after it is fully accepted by all the members, then it is included in the Yatra recipes.
But it's not so easy to make it to the Yatra menu. By the time the recipe travels from the food lab to the Yatra kitchen, it's been scaled up to cater to thousands. It takes operational precision and smart systems to keep the preparations on track. Like the exact measurements of ingredients, which is down to a juggling act of different tubs and tumblers.
There is something called as recipe master. So whatever ingredients are required, they are measured in cups. We measure properly, calibration, everything is done, and then the recipe is documented. And then we just multiply. So one tub is 35 liters, so it serves around say 100 people. So here if we want to serve for say 1000 people, then we multiply 10 times. So right now for here we need to make 18 tubs of gravy for the kofta. So we have a recipe of 1 tub, so we multiply 18 times. Kashmiri mirchi powder takes 16 cups.
Once the mix of ingredients is set, it's time for the head chef to step in.
Today we are expecting a yield of around 700 liters of kofta gravy, and along with the kofta gravy then we'll have around 10,000 kofta balls, and then together we will be serving out to around 5,000 plus devotees.
It's hard work for this crew that's been at it since pre-dawn. But now they're about to get a visit that's bound to inspire them. Senior ISKCON monk and one of the founders of the Yatra kitchen, Sri Radhanath Swami, is dropping by. Today's kitchens have come a long way since he first started in 1986.
30 years ago, we just had one little stove and a few people, and they would cook. And they would fill a few buckets and serve it to everyone, and we would just be sitting under a tree in a forest somewhere, and we would enjoy the prasad, the sacred meal. But as things developed into hundreds and then thousands, we had to get larger pots, and we had to transport them, and then we had to get cookers, and we tried to organize these so that there's a really wonderful meal that costs as little as possible.
As is ritual in this kitchen, lunch prep too includes an offering to Lord Krishna.
And this is one of the greatest necessities for success, especially in a spiritual organization, is for people of all different varieties of backgrounds to really be able to appreciate each other. And when we work together and we harmonize our hearts in that way, then God performs miracles even through us.
It's definitely a combination of spiritual and manual labor, By mid-morning, all stations in the main kitchen are functioning at 100% capacity. However, in the sweet section, Damodar Das has hit an unexpected road bump. Today's dessert is pineapple halva, a pudding that's been tested in the food labs of Govardhan Eco Village. But here in Vrindavan, one of the key ingredients seems to be misbehaving. The butter isn't breaking down as expected.
After I checked, I found that it's a little harder to stir. I found the butter which we got was a little less fatty. There was a more watery content which has evaporated. The halwa has become hard to stir.
Damodar Das must think on his feet and summon all his skills of improvisation.
We are going to add some ghee to it to make the right consistency.
With this short and sweet intervention, lunch is back on track.
By 12 o'clock, all the items should be done. And by 12:30, we are confident that we will be able to start the serve out.
Meanwhile, Yatra devotees have been on the road since morning, performing Padayatra, or journeying by foot, fueled by prayer. As noon approaches, it's time to seek out a different kind of fuel, and so they bundle into buses and make their way back. In the dining area, volunteers are put through one last drill before service.
Thrown here. Then go ahead. Give 2 chapatis here. Right? So then he will lift the chapati. There you can put a rice.
And then the clock strikes 12:30. Devotees who've been on the road since morning, often on foot, are streaming in. Dining hall volunteers receive each travel-weary pilgrim. They also keep count of footfalls.
We have counting system which is actually helping us to keep a record that how many people have taken the food, how many people have arrived.
Hungry devotees fill up on nutritious vegetarian fare. For those with a less spicy palate, there's a counter especially for them. But no matter how tasty the meal is, this prasad means more to them than just food.
Prasad is mercy. The word Sanskrit prasad means mercy. Mercy of whom? Mercy of Krishna. Have a good sumptuous breakfast, nice lunch, very light dinner. Your spiritual batteries get charged up.
Sometimes we ask for blessings.
As evening descends over Vrindavan, in the city where Krishna once frolicked, the Yatra menu changes ever so slightly from that which satisfies the stomach to that which enriches the soul. The last day of Yatra in Vrindavan draws to a close. The kitchen crew have made it past the halfway mark.
Very intense service experience, but at the same time there is intense joy that we could serve almost 60,000 meals in this last 1 week.
Now that we have already crossed 5 days of intense cooking and schedules, so the biggest challenge would be to keep up the energy levels and the enthusiasm levels.
As the spiritual celebration goes into the night, the mega kitchen prepares to move once again. It's time to pack up and hit the road again. After 5 days of cooking in Vrindavan, the Yatra team is all set to shift locations. At the Yatra's halfway mark, over 60,000 meals have been prepared by the traveling kitchen.
We have to load 3 trucks, unload 3 trucks, set up the kitchen overnight, and as soon as we finish the setup, the cooking team will start cooking tomorrow morning at 4 a.m.
Time to hit the road again and travel 20 kilometers away to the small town of Govardhan. Govardhan is a significant spot for Krishna devotees. They believe that it is here that Krishna held up the Govardhan hill to protect his people from the wrath of rain god Indra. During Yatra, pilgrims will perform parikrama, or circumambulate the hill and visit other temples along the way. Much of it will be on foot, with a lot of singing and chanting. Along the way, Yatra pilgrims like Prima Morty from Croatia hope for a spiritual recharge.
Why I'm visiting here is to find this inner depthness which is missing to the people from West. They have all this outside luxury, but they're missing this fulfillment from inside. And that's why they are not happy. So that's why I came thousands of kilometers here.
Like Prima Morty, many Krishna devotees are from beyond Indian shores. It's a fact that the Yatra kitchen is very mindful of.
Today we've decided for going for international cuisine. Today we have, in breakfast, we have pasta and sweet corn soup.
Over 200 kilos of pasta will be cooked in a fresh tomato sauce.
So for that we have procured fresh basil from Delhi, and here we have, and this assembly line of tomato sauce. We have used 1 ton of tomato for today. This 1 ton tomato, we boil them, we puree them, and we pre-plan the whole thing in the recipe. So here is like 1 batch, here is the total batch, and we divide the devotees, the cooks, the assistants, and everybody goes on their job.
The final dish will be almost 1,400 liters. This team is as global as the menu, with volunteers coming in from far and wide. The true test of taste is in the reactions of the diners.
It's just got different flavors. They're not using, there's not an Indian spice to it, but it's like just different flavors. And I think that it's because it's prasad, actually, that when you eat this, you want to eat so much.
For nearly 2 weeks of Yatra, Krishna devotees have sought the blessings of their Lord. Now, on the penultimate day, it's time to turn the tables. As the festival winds down, it's time for devotees to give back in the form of Annakut. Annakut is a food ritual in which ISKCON's cooking team will be replaced by hundreds of Krishna devotees, and the mega kitchen will be transformed into rows of humble fire stoves.
These are all clay chulas which are made from a village very close by in Rajasthan, in Deeg. And along with this, so this year we are having over 200 chulas. Last year we had 150, and this year, because more devotees are coming, so we have more than 200 chulas there.
And it's not just Yatra organizers who are ready for this huge event. Devotees too have come prepared to make their offerings.
Here every devotee is cooking something that they know how to cook perfectly. As I like to make samosas for Krishna and I know it perfectly, so I decided to make on samosas. So here we are going to offer 108 samosas.
No matter where they come from, each devotee squats at their assigned stoves, cooking in rustic style.
It's a little bit hot. It's not a little bit, but it's hot and smoky here. We call this Krishna consciousness. That's what it is. Lots of people, so much love, so much food.
As the morning proceeds, amateur cooks transform into Krishna's chefs de cuisine. When they're done, they plate up and make their way to the Krishna altar, which has transformed into the ultimate divine buffet. Prima Murti has also prepared a simple offering.
Participating in this Annakut festival, for me, it means that God has given us everything what we have. He has given us the food, He has given us accommodation, He has given us everything what we have. So to use some of these articles which we got from Him and just make some nice preparation and offer to Him back, it's just a way of expressing love. It's like a small child. He takes 100 euros from his father's pocket, buys something for his father, and his father is happy. It was anyway his father's money. But just this expression of love, this is something amazing.
It's an apt ending to the Yatra, where meals thus far have symbolized Krishna's blessings. Now, through Annakut, the faithful give back by symbolically feeding their God. And so, as the Hindu god himself prescribed, the cycle of creation and destruction carries on for the Yatra kitchen. For now, it's a joyous communal celebration. But soon, it will be time to move on and create something new.